where we all thought they were going to ride and die with Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and Devin Levi. And now those are the two wondering what's their future in the organization.
Yeah, and I think that's something that a lot of Oilers fans in our YouTube chat and one Oilers fan sitting next to me is very envious of. A front office who sits there, looks at goaltending, and is like, you know what? It's not where we need it to be. Let's do whatever it takes to just flush the whole thing.
Yeah, I do wonder, speaking of Edmonton and goaltending, I do wonder at what point, and maybe it's already happened, the Oilers knock on the Buffalo Sabres door. I mean, the Buffalo Sabres organization right now is a magnet for goaltender. It's like everybody look up and Alex Lyon gets a start tonight, and I don't know, maybe I'm making too much out of it, but what does that mean for the future of Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen with the Buffalo Sabres? I don't think it's the end of Luukkonen with the Buffalo Sabres. It feels like it's the beginning of something, though. Here's Alex Lyon, who's got to start the other night against Columbus, getting a start for the Buffalo Sabres. And here's, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen saying, hold on a second here. I'm the franchise guy. I'm the $5 million goaltender. I'm, coming off of a slight injury or a tweak. I get one period of a preseason game. I get, one conditioning start with the Rochester Americans. I get the second half of a back-to-back home and home with the Toronto Maple Leafs. You pin the whole thing on me. And now all of a sudden, I lose the crease to Alex Lyon. Plus you have Colton Ellis there. Plus you have Devin Levi in the American Hockey League. Like, there's only so many games that these guys can play, and only so many nets available in practice. Like, that's the one team, if I'm the Edmonton Oilers, I'm sort of knocking on the door and saying, like, what are you guys thinking, Kevin Adams? What are you thinking with your netminder here? Because the way it looks from the outside looking in, or at least it feels like, they're kind of ride or die with Alex Lyon and Colton Ellis, where we all thought they were going to ride and die with Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and Devin Levi. And now those are the two wondering what's their future in the organization. If I'm Edmonton, I'm knocking on that door.
$4.75 million for 3 more years after this one. His no trade clause, and it's a limited one, but I don't believe, or at least according to Puckpedia, it doesn't kick in until this summer. So Buffalo, if they decide to move UPL, could move him wherever they want. When I hear about Edmonton, and another goalie, I think about Connor Ingram, who's sitting in Bakersfield right now, had a good start, had a bad start so far with the Condors. Do you think, like, if the Oilers believe there's a chance UPL is available at some point, does that speed up, or could it speed up how quickly they want Connor Ingram up in the NHL? Because wouldn't you maybe want to see if Connor Ingram is a solution before you go spend assets on another solution?
I could not agree with you more. I think you look at, the situation with Connor Ingram and say, let me see what this guy looks like after 20 games. Like, it's always better where you can solve your problems internally, obviously, and it's cheaper. And even though it's a different position, I'll look at the Carolina Hurricanes, who at the start of the season we said, okay, they're one of those teams that's going to be looking for a second-line center. They just moved Logan Stankoven to the middle. And at least temporarily, that's their solution to their second-line center problem, to the point where I don't think that Eric Tulsky is even that aggressively looking for a second-line center right now, because Logan Stankoven, former Kamloops Blazer, has been real good. Thank you very much. So it's always better. Like, when that move was made for Connor Ingram, I didn't think for one second that was just, okay, you know what, they got a Bakersfield goaltender. I thought that was a really smart, calculated, let's see if we can get back to peak Ingram here. Hopefully all of his personal issues are behind him. And if we can get that goaltender, then all of a sudden, at a very, very decent price, at a very, very low risk, we've addressed a significant position for us. I liked that deal for Stan Bowman and the Oilers. I really did.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Every Day, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered, from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.